What is going on, everyone? My name's Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning on the right side of the map in the red color, playing as Isis. His name is Redo. His opponent today in the blue color, also playing as Isis. His name is Joe. The map is Midgard, and this is a best of 5 game number 3 1-to-1 series between these two players. Had some very, very good games so far. Funnily enough, Joe taking his only win so far with his off-god, with Odin. Shaking things up now, going in with his Isis on water. This is his preferred god on the water maps from what I've seen. He loves the Isis on water. It gives him access to go Anubis, Bast early, also the god power, protection, all the good things. Ancestors Eclipse is a thing that can happen. Isis in general, probably the strongest Egyptian god on the water, and we're seeing a very standard build here, order here for Joe. Redo, on the other hand, you're doing exactly the same thing. 2 fishing ships already out for Redo. A little bit late for Joe, as he did have to sort of search around, it looks like, for that fishing spot, but he does get it out, and we'll be starting that food economy, getting the things going, rolling well. Mirror matchups are always the most stressful matchups for me whenever I have to play them, because it's like you have to like outplay your opponent something crazy like here. And Joe's laborer deciding to go for a stroll, getting told, no, back to work. You're not allowed to visit the town center. You want to be on these woods, on this tree line here, chopping away for the rest of your days. That's Commander Joe's instructions. It's not from me. It's not from me. I know we see Redo throwing up that mining camp. 4 villagers wood, starting to put 4 villagers on gold, spamming those docks out. Question is, how do you play this? You have a couple of options here. You can go for semi-fast heroic age with the cabinet spam. Works very, very nicely. You make about 10 cabinets or so, put a lot of pressure onto your opponents. Hit the heroic age, grab heavy cabinets in order to claim the water. And go from there. Second strategy is a fast heroic through Bast and Nephthys, going for a all-in with Midgard Stronghold, Siege Works, Scorpion Man. You know the gist. Third option is a all-out water fight. It's probably not the best in this matchup, but you can go for it. And the fourth option is an immediate second town center, potentially even an immediate third town center as soon as you hit the classical age. Follow that up with whatever you want to feel like from the previous suggestions, and go from there. So we will see. We will see what these guys go for. We are seeing a dock coming up now for Redo down here. Same for Joe's already got the second dock up. Fishing ship trying to spam those out as fast as you can. 5 villagers on gold for Redo, whereas Joe's going for 4. After you put those 4 villagers to gold, you want to start getting more wood income. You only need 2 docks to spam these fishing ships out. And then you need to throw that temple down, which is exactly what Joe's doing. And then you can opt to throw more docks down if you want. If you want to go for the 3 town center strat, you go 3 docks, and then you put a lot of villages onto gold in order to, maybe even a prosperity, in order to get those 3 town centers down straight away. And we'll see what each other wants to do. The other option is to just go 5 docks and protect all of your close fishing spots, so your opponent can't do a real harass onto those, and see how you go. We're also seeing one of those issues on this map where players are going to be running out of the berries, having to eat these cows, trying to get to the next age if they can. So we'll see what happens with their decision making after they click up. It is a very telling sign, and we're already seeing some obelisks coming up for Joe. Same for Redo. I like this. This obelisk seeing a little bit, if we check out Joe's perspective, it's not really seeing actually anything of importance apart from this town center. This town center, very important to know if your opponent is grabbing this one early. And we will probably be seeing Joe trying to find out the other town center. We do see Redo throwing up his obelisk on this town center, or this settlement, I should say, as well. And there's a 3rd dock up now for Joe, and we still only see 2 docks for Redo. It doesn't matter when you get them up. You have to put them up at some point. We are seeing him go very far forward with these docks, and sort of missing out on a little bit of food up here. This is kind of the way that Redo should have been going. Oftentimes, these fish maps on the way that Midgards are spawning in Vibly 4.0 is a lot of fish in this corner or right next to the town center, and a lot of fish in the other corner right near this town center. So you want to sort of search around those spots to make sure you're going the right way. which we'll see what happens, but we are seeing bars coming through for both players. About the same speed, it looks like. 50, yeah, exactly the same speed, maybe a touch faster for Redo, just with a little bit more efficiency in the early game, not dropping villager training time, it looks like. Yeah, Joe throwing up this obelisk over here as well. Redo spots out this town center, and he is going to be retreating back to his base with that priest. Still looking for some places to throw obelisks up. We'll see where they go from here. There's a monument to the villagers coming up for Redo. No monument just yet for Joe. Well, there it is. There's the monument. And do we see an immediate purse scene for these players? Yes, Joe's grabbing that purse scene straight away. And Redo, on the other hand, spamming out cabinets. Yeah, there's his purse scene. Another dot coming up. So still no second town center. So this is looks like both players going for what is probably going to be the semi-fast heroic age here. So spamming out those cabinets, you get about 10 to 15 cabinets. You get a 9-minute heroic age. Very, very strong. And you try not to fight too much. Harmonious necklace sitting over here. So we may be seeing Joe grabbing hands with the pharaoh to get that priest to grab that relic. It's not a bad one. We also got the girdle of Apollo up here, which are a very good relic as well in its own right. So both relics should be claimed on this map, but oftentimes we do see relics getting left behind for some reason on water maps. People don't prioritize them as much. Nice micro from Joe already. Redo going to be retreating back. I do prefer to play very defensive here when I'm going for these strats, because what you do is these initial villages that you put on wood, that's all you're going to have. The rest just go straight onto the gold mine, and you can see that the food is starting to come up very, very fast, but Joe is not building this armory up, whereas Redo is getting his up. So if Joe doesn't start this armory by about 7 minutes, the heroic age is going to be delayed for Joe. So we'll see if this villager goes over onto this armory or not here. And it does. Okay, so he should be completely fine to click up, and he'll have those resources coming in, even though the armory is a touch late. We have 8 cabinets here to the 6 or 7 cabinets for Joe. So a little bit of an advantage here. Nice micro from Redo yet again, pulling them away. And Joe just going to be attempting to keep staying over here. He is going to be harassing up the top. I love this from Joe. Hit the fishing economy. One of the big bonuses for the Egyptian cabinets is they do have a little bit of a bonus against fishing ships. There's the Redo prosperity here. Very strange. Looks like he's going to be gearing up for the next age here. And still no prosperity for Joe. He's got about 1,300 gold left in that location. And the Sphinx is going to be attempting to take down this dock. Joe should be a little bit more careful with these boats here. We do see there's the prosperity from Joe. One of the big advantages for Egyptian or for ISIS players over the other Egyptians is this prosperity on this map, because all the Egyptians can get this amount of food income, but getting up to the heroic age at that 9-minute mark is very difficult. We are seeing this armory still very, very delayed. I thought it took only a minute to build here, but it looks like it's a minute and a half. So not only is Joe supply blocked here, he's also late on the armory, so he's going to be late on the heroic age. Whereas Redo, perfect age up timing here, already 50%. Actually looks like an 840 here from Redo, so very, very quick. So he's going to have the advantage of heavy archer ships over Joe, and also the advantage of being in the next age first. We do see this priest coming over here, going to be attempting to take the Sphinx down, but not paying attention as Joe chasing this Sphinx, or deciding to leave the Sphinx to be alive, as he spotted those priests just existing. He doesn't want to be losing his Sphinx too early here. Meanwhile, we're still seeing Joe hovering around this relic, just thinking that, yeah, I should grab this one. Yeah, I should probably grab this one. Nah, I'm not going to grab this one. Yeah, let's grab this one. And there's the Nephthys for Redo. Joe, on the other hand, is grabbing his second town center. And doing his things. Grabbing the town center first, as opposed to Redo's throwing up this Midgard stronghold. He's going for some map control here with this Midgard. And honestly, this town center is a little bit difficult for Joe to get now, as there's obviously the Midgard strongholds here, but also the wood line, bit difficult. Redo probably shouldn't grab this one, because Joe can respond to get this town center getting grabbed by doing a semi-fast heroic, then utilizing the catapult behind this tree line to secure this one. And we will be seeing the units of Joe Going to be spotting this. Do we see an Ancestors Eclipse straight away? It wouldn't be a bad idea. There's the Ancestors Eclipse. Going to be preventing this one. Midgard Stronghold coming down for Joe onto this location now. And he's going to be fighting it. However, is this going to be enough? We see a lot of cabinets over here. Do we see heavy cabinets? No, we do not. It's arrow cladding, I believe. And this Midgard Stronghold will go down. However, Redo will have his own Ancestors Eclipse to respond afterwards. So we'll see if he can get some value out of it or not. But Joe preventing excuse me. Joe preventing too many units getting built up here is going to be in a really good position. And he kind of just has to build like 4 or 5 more priests. And then the Ancestor Eclipse of Redo not going to do all too much. Even losing some villagers here. Joe going to be very far in front. However, Redo looks like he's pushing Joe back away from this. And we are still seeing this Leviathan here. With the usage of the Eclipse, this Leviathan can do a lot of damage here. Redo does snipe a fishing ship in the middle of this. And he's going to be retreating back yet again. And now Redo needs to get up his Midgard Stronghold because Joe can kind of just give up on the water now. Put full pressure over here onto this location. And if he can pick off this Midgard Stronghold, he simply just wins the game from a gold starve because he has complete control up on this top location. These gold mines won't be able to get grabbed. This is the only sort of gold mine. These 2 gold mines over here, the only gold mines that Redo has access to. But the Midgard Stronghold looks like it will get up. Joe not going to be able to prevent that one there. A little bit of a misplay, as Joe does actually know that this is where Redo has to be. Well, he could know, Redo could be over here, but he's seen the villagers run away. He's got to know that this is where Redo is. This is where the Midgard Stronghold is going up, and this is the point of which Joe could get some value. However, now we've got a bit of a standoff over here. We've got 12 archer ships to 14 archer ships here. The Leviathan and the cabinets coming into the top, looking for something to hit. Now we're seeing Joe moving forward here. A little bit of a mistake, losing 2 cabinets for free there. And now Redo can start getting some pushing in here with complete disregard for the docks. He's got such a huge advantage on those on the cabinet count. And Redo does get this town center up. Joe's got his 3rd town center up, taking things slow here. To be moving on to these deer. He's also got carib, or elk, I should say, over here as well. So lots of hunt to be used. Villagers moving up onto this town center as well as Redo's trying to chase Joe. And once you have 3 town centers, really doesn't matter about the fishing ship. We do see that Salt Amphora has been grabbed for Joe. Has it been grabbed for Redo? Yes, it has. One of the most important upgrades in the game. If you check its upgrades up, it gives 25% or 25 extra fishing carry capacity plus 40% fish gather rate. Like that is the most extra percentage gather rate of any economic upgrade. So a very, very important one to be grabbing when you have so many fishing ship already. And now we're seeing Joe looking to push forward. That has a bunch of priests here. Does he have funeral rites? No funeral rites. Hands of the Pharaoh is researched though. So they have a little bit of a range advantage over those chariot archers with 1 extra range. So they can sit comfortably in the back of the army. So we will be seeing, but war elephants just spamming out now for Redo. I like this. I love going, actually, honestly, I prefer to go pure cavalry when my opponent's going pure chariot archers if I can afford it, as opposed to the war elephants. War elephants cost 70 gold, 180 food. They're really expensive. They're really hard to kill with the chariots, but you can't push through because the chariots just retreat back, and then you start getting attacked by those mercenary cavalry. Now Redo going to be moving over here, trying to push through this, and we're going to be seeing these war elephant tanking quite a bit of damage. You can see how long it takes these chariot archers to take this down. There's the Ancestors Eclipse, and Joe out in the middle of nowhere here, going to have to retreat back instead of being able to utilize the priest to just snipe the ancestors off when they spawn. So nice play from Redo here, but he doesn't really have a follow-up to this. These priests just jump into the town center. or simply just get to the back of the base. There's no chariot archers to pick them off, so these ancestors will fall very, very fast. If Joe does any focus fire micro from those priests, he'll be in a very, very good position now. Got some cavalry coming out as well to push Redo back. Still not focusing these priests. Need to focus them. Just shift click all of those minions here, and you're going to be in a really good position. Meanwhile, Joe losing all of the water while this attack's coming in. Has to retreat his chariot archers. Now the siege towers coming in. They're not the best things to be taking down an Egyptian player. As we see all those ancestors get cleaned up. Joe in a pretty good position on the land now. He's picked off a lot of Ridu's army, but Ridu is spamming out more of those Midgard strongholds. We do see a couple of long, what are they called? Siege ships? Siege war barges getting produced by Joe to try and hold on to the water, but it's just not going to be working for him. And honestly, he's got the hunt. He doesn't need to do anything crazy. He's going through Osiris here, which is a really smart move. We check out Redo. He spent all of those resources on War Elephant, so that's a lot of food that he's not going to have to be able to advance, but he's getting very close. He's just going to be a bit behind. Does also have the fish economy, so totally has that advantage there. The market is up, spamming trade. A little bit inefficient. You want to be up in this side to go to the furthest town center, but obviously take what you can get. And Joe's still trying to push through. These priests, he needs to trade these priests off because they are a waste of population. Only dealing 3.6 damage as opposed to like a chariot archer which does 9.35 for one population more. So it's very, very important there. We do see Sheshonk in the fight now. A very poor micro for both players here, attacking the siege towers. You've got to sort of shift click across on all of the chariot archers when there are siege towers in here. Not just one click. You've got to shift click through them. Otherwise, you're in a really difficult position. And the Pharaoh coming in now. He has taken 2 hits of damage. So that translates to 5 damage done to Joe's Son of Osiris. But now he's going to be moving in. He's got the advantage here. Redo, on the other hand, going through Thoth. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. Mummies counter Thoth very, very hard. Monuments as well to prevent the Mythic Age or the Meteor from doing all too much. And Redo's not going to want to cast that instantly either. We're seeing some spearmen coming out for the time being, but they get sniped oh so fast by the Son of Osiris, by the chariot archers, by everything else. And you need like a ball of chariot archers to deal with the Son of Osiris. Meanwhile, seeing mercenary cavalry coming in for both players. There's the Thoth for Redo. And he casts Meteor down onto this location. Smacks that Son of Osiris. 4-6 there. But only does about, 50 damage or something per attack. So really not all that much. So Son of Osiris still going to be totally fine. But check out the population though. Joe's sitting at 126 of 169. Redu's 148 of 169. So big advantage. Now the Mercenary Cavalry on top of the Son of Osiris of Joe. And that mummy was picked off somehow. Now we've got a Phoenix coming into the mix. There are still a couple of priests here. They do have funeral rites. So the Phoenix will get sniped very, very fast if Joe micros at all here. But we do see the chariot archers going after these priests nice and fast. Really nice play there from Rito to pick that one off. Now the Phoenix can go to town. It does 40 hack damage per second or something. And that's area of effect damage. You can see it does regular AoE damage. And it's only the hack damage opponent. So it does 40 hack damage to a ball of units. So we'll see what happens. And for some reason, this relic over here, which was down the bottom, Harmonious Necklace, a very useful relic, just gets left there. And you can rebuild this this Phoenix for 150 gold and 10 favor. Very, very easy to do so, very cheap. Now this Midgard Stronghold with 100 HP living for quite a while here for some reason. And Joe's still able to keep pushing in. His economy's sort of been sorted out. He's just got... he hasn't got Plow, though. He's got Hand Axe. He's got Quarry. And he's moving over onto this location. Spots the gold mining operation of Redo. Both players sharing a gold mine for a little bit here. There is this gold mine over here as well. And we're seeing a couple of war barges coming in onto this location here, forcing some ramming galleys out. Meanwhile, the Son of Osiris still alive for Joe as he's able to get super max value out of it. Nice Chariot Arch shenanigans going on for Redo here. But it's looking like Redo's actually just struggling here to produce units. He's sitting at full population. Now this is like all in camel caravans, inefficient camel caravans at that. And Joe hasn't started. Okay, Joe's camel caravans are inefficient. They're not doing anything for him. He could send them over here and get a little bit, but little bit of a mistake there. He's just waiting for this market, and then he'll delete this one, and it'll be totally fine. It'll sort itself out. We'll see if that's what he wants to go for. Meanwhile, do we see... Like, what is he doing? Where's all his economy? Like, what? Sorry, where's all... He's got 5, 11 population on the water here, and this is his entire army. Redo needs to do something about this because his economy is huge, but he's just like can't do anything about it. Like he's just gonna get pushed in and lose. Mercenary are great units, but just not gonna cut it unless he can get all of the armory upgrades and trade off villages or something, delete some of those fishing ships and or something like that. We'll see. See what he can do, but Joe's got all the advantages right now. He's not getting any upgrades, though. It's going to be the issue for him. Obviously, because he has less economy than Redo, who's like 130 villager count or something crazy, 140 villager count. And the Chariot Archer is still trying to track that Son of Osiris down. Nice play by Joe to keep him alive, keep him out of harm's way. Catapult still trying to take down the Midgard stronghold. But with the War Elephant and the Mercenary Cavalry on top of it, it's going to be way too much for it. And Redo's still holding on here. Still in a decent situation. And that those units over here cleaning up everything. This town center, probably not in range of the water, so no need to get naval auxiliaries to get those super range war barges. Now we've got heavy elephants coming out. Redo can possibly get... Oh, Redo's got Valley of the Kings, it looks like. No? I tell a lie, he doesn't have Valley of the Kings. But he can get Tusk of... I always forget what this is called. Tusk of Apidamark. I was going to say whip, but that's something else. Tusk of Apidamark. And then these elephants start becoming really scary. And... very easy to counter, though, for Joe. You just have to treat them like Colossus, basically. And you just make mummies. And they're really expensive. So you just pick them off with the mummies. But we're not seeing any mummies being made by Joe just yet. So that's a little bit of a mistake there. Did the Son of Osiris fall? Did I miss that? No? I don't think it did. He just ran it. Trying to keep it alive somewhere. No, I'm missing it? Okay. Maybe it died. Yeah, the War Elephant moving. You see how much damage this tanks. If there was anything hitting these chariots right now, it would be huge. But does manage to pick that one off. And now Joe's actually in a bit of a predicament. He's got no gold income. Nope, he's over here mining gold. I tell a lie. And here. And there's the Son of Osiris with 80 HP. Saving your Son of Osiris is not really that important. Keeping him alive, he doesn't actually do any extra empowering or anything like that. He's just basically a pharaoh with extra damage. So it would be better to keep using him, try and get as much value out of him, but then get a pharaoh back in so you can bring that into your army, because it is like the most high damage unit you have, the pharaoh, and also you can use it to empower things. And given he's only got 80 HP left, a bit of an issue now. Catapult coming over here. Trying to take this down. Son of Osiris is a really good catapult killer. We'll be able to pick it off in 2 or 3 hits here. Because obviously the 60 damage per attack is enough. And we do see it picking that one off, getting targeted yet again, getting down even closer to falling. And Ridu still getting a lot of value here from his army, from his economy. And if we check this out, he's full bronze with an iron shield. You're probably getting more technologies here. Iron weapons, champion chariot coming through, mercenary cavalry going to town, and Joe just not able to keep up with this because his economy is just not that good. He's got still really bad farms here. Only 4 villages on... Is this... He's only got 4 villages on farms. Only 4 villages on farms. This is really bad for Joe. But he's still got all these chariot archers. He's still got everything. So if he can sort of get his farms out, he'll be in a good position now. Ridu's on this gold mine. Almost out of gold on the map completely. As we're seeing him continue here pretty well. Ridu, if he just gets control of this gold mine, it could be game over because Joe's trade is fairly abysmal because he's had no food for quite some time here. Now more villagers coming over here. We're looking like Joe's going after Ridu's villages with his own, picking them off. But this is just going to give Ridu more population to play with. And all the chariot archers of Joe looking like they're going to come over here, try and pick off these villages. That's a lot of chariot archers for Joe. And see how much damage these soak up because of the upgrades at 43% or 41% pierce armor against 28% pierce armor. Absolutely huge. Another Midgard stronghold coming down for Ridu. Some mercenary cavalry coming in to try and pick these guys off. And the heavy elephant here, just look at that, just not die for so long to so many chariot archers. Also, the mercenary cavalry here coming in like it's a Huskarl, basically, with that pierce armor. Can just live forever, basically, until the lifespan goes out. So just absolutely huge for Ridu, who's almost secured this gold mine. And Joe's almost out of this. 2,000 gold left in that gold mine. It's not going to cut it. He's not going to be able to get that trade set up. Still no farm set up just yet for Joe. So his food economy is just so rubbish here. And he's just not going to be able to even repopulate these chariot archers. He's trying to make war elephant as well out of that Midgard. It's just never going to happen. And Catapult still pushing in over here. And do we see that Tusk of Apidamark yet? Yes, we do. 652 HP. Champion War Elephant will be following fairly soon. Iron Mail coming in as well for Ridu. Probably not the upgrade you want to get against a pure Chariot Archer army. It would have been better to invest in the Champion Elephant instead. Get that Iron Mail a little bit later. But fair enough. The Midgard stronghold's up now. Looks like the Son of Osiris has come back in with the City of the Dead. Getting a little bit more HP left in there, up to 153 instead of that 70 or whatever he was on. So a nice little upgrade there for him. I guess the Iron Mail does help defend against the Son of Osiris. That does deal hack damage, but Chariots hitting the Son of Osiris yet again. Almost going to snipe it. Trying to run into the Siege Chariot. He does pick off the Son of Osiris there. And that's a huge win for Ridu in this game. Meanwhile, we see the War Elephant going after the town center now. Mercenary popping out, but they will not be able to pick these off fast at all. And this town center only has fortified town center, so it will be going down, or maybe going down, as the mercenary coming out to try and pick these guys off. But look at this, so close to falling. The War Elephant's doing about 50 damage apiece. One War Elephant left, 50 damage left. A villager trying to repair it, but the town center will be falling there. Nice play from Ridu, able to take that one down. And we do see in that moment that Joe does tap out. GG, well played by Ridu, beating Joe in the ISIS war, showing how strong he is as a player, as an Age of Mythology of the Titans player. Really well played, going crazy high on that civilian unit count to get the technologies out, defend until he gets them, and then when he's in front, he is super in front. And Joe's mistake here was not transitioning into a food economy in order to get his camel caravans out, in order to get that bonus economy that he needs to chase those economic upgrades, and it was just too much. If we check out the post-game here, we can see the resource total here is just so much in favor for Redo, which is why you could get those economic upgrades, had 127 civilian unit high compared to 90 of Joe, which is the big story, almost 40 more villages for Redo, which is going to allow him to just get all of those upgrades, 33 upgrades over Joe. So that's the story of this game. Joe not able to finish this one off early. Had he just sent those chariot archers straight to the gold mine that was here before that, or while that Midgard stronghold was going up, he could have denied it and won there and there, but he just did not manage to do so. And that was the game in the end of it. Too good for Redo, unfortunate for Joe, but such is life, and well played. So going up 2-1. If you're enjoying these games, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.